Hi, people of the Philippines and people of the world. Hit the button below. And you will be subscribing to the Boy Abunda Talk channel on YouTube. Let's keep talking.
The hardest thing to do is to actually practice what you preach. Let's just work hard and do the right thing.
Alan, gaano kahalaga ang BGC sa inyo, Nilan?
Napaka-importante, Kuya Boy, kasi ito yung window into Taguig. Ito din po ang nag-finance ng lahat ng social services. At ito din yung example namin ng values sa governance.
Okay. Why so?
Well, nung hindi ma-jumpstart yung the fort because of the 97 crisis and then many problems, magtatayo sana ng casino dito. Talagang tinayuan namin yun na hindi. Kung natayuan ng casino dito, parang old Ermita to or parang old Macau. Hindi to the BGC that you see now. And then nung si Lani na yung naging mayor, pinagbawal namin yung pogo dito. So wala kaming pogo, wala kaming bingo, other things. But when we emphasize hard work, we also make sure na lahat ng taga-Taguig na who are working here and anywhere, they have free medicine sa kanilang mga parents kapag ito'y maintenance, hinahatid sa bahay. Ang anak nila, from elementary to high school, free uniform, walang mga fees sa mga computer laboratories which we use Apple sa laboratory. So, when people here hire Taguigueños, they give the same pay whether you're from other parts of the country, but mas konti ang gastos ng Taguigueño because they're well taken care of. So, we think, di ba, hindi man namin na-influence yung architecture, yung social architecture, yun ang binigyan ng diin ni
Yun ang nahagip, ika nga.
Kasi yung una niyang lakad dito ng mayor siya, pag tinanong mo sa restaurant, yung chef, yung supervisor, yung accountant, yung may-ari, hindi taga-Taguig, di ba? Yung janitor, baka taga-Taguig or one or two of the waitresses. You go to the mall, yung supervisor, yung head ng security, yung may-ari ng hindi taga-Taguig. So doon talaga na ang nilani na unless we make education free. And when we talk to the people, say, sure, we'll hire kung qualified. Eh kung hindi naman aral, hindi rin. Or kung hindi healthy. So doon talaga pumasok sa mind namin na hindi pala tama yung anyone who's gone to New York, Hong Kong and Singapore and say, gusto ko ganito. Kasi yun yung building lang eh. Dadating at dadating yon. Kung tama yung latag nung values at social services mo, di ba? So we had to build the social infrastructure of the city wherein we say, hoy, magkakatrabaho ka. Let's just work hard and do the right thing.
Tama. Did you expect that this would look, the way it does?
To be fair to the developers, no, to the Ayalas, to Mega World, to the Tans, di ba? To of course the Grand Hyatt, di ba? To SM Ora, to the C's, the T's. They've done a great job. But I really feel that yung time when Lani started nung nag-grow, the partnership was really felt eh. Oo. Kasi hindi yung parang, eto regulasyon namin, sumunod kami. It was more of, anong kailangan nyo? Then, dito naman kami stricto. So,
get it.
talaga. So like, in terms of headquarters, I think when Lani got to be mayor, baka less than 15 headquarters nandito. In her first 4 years, more than 100 headquarters moved to Taguig.
Okay. No, but what you're trying to say also, Alan, is that, government doesn't do it alone.
Yes.
Talagang you partner with the private sector.
Yes.
Diba?
Partnership talaga. And in fact, kumbaga sa sayaw, ang lead pa rin yung business eh.
Tama.
Di ba? Ikaw lang, you draw the red lines.
Right.
Hindi pwedeng ganito, hindi pwedeng ganito. Treat your employees right, di ba? Follow. So for example, isang hiningi lang sa amin dito ng Ayala is kung gaano sila ka-strict sa kung ilan floors, kung sa open space na gusto din namin. Kasi kung hindi, mauubos yung parks dito, yung etong sidewalk, di ba? Every time we're abroad, sana naman may ganyan sidewalk tayo. So nung pandemic, yung mga restaurant napayagan sa labas kasi malaki yung sidewalk. Eh kung 1 metro lang yung sidewalk na yan.
Oh.
So ngayon may biking lane pero before wala. So sa mga bagong development, we're asking the developers, di ba? Can we learn from the pandemic? Can we give back more sa
Right.
customers natin? It's expensive, but it's worth it.
Okay. Nandito pala si Miss Kylie Versosa.
Hi, Tito Boy. Hi, Kuya
Excited to
Alan.
see her because I heard she's someone who appreciates the Fort or BGC Taguig.
Wait, Kuya Alan, more than appreciates. Taga-BGC talaga ako. I've been a resident, Tito Boy, for the past 8-10 years. Dito talaga ako lumaki.
Isa sa pinaka-heartwarming sa amin nila yun.
Sobra.
Pag happy yung resident.
Tama.
Sobra.
Oo. At saka, it seems like you don't want to get out of this place. My
Oh.
question is, bakit?
Kasi everything is so easy here. Ako nga, hindi ko nagagamit yung car ko masyado because I can walk everywhere.
Oo.
It's so easy. I can
You
take my
feel safe,
dogs.
no,
I feel
walking?
safe. It's a
Friendly
pet-friendly
sa pet,
city.
You know, this girl is so interesting because she's interested. Madalas kami nag-uusap niyan tungkol sa leadership, environment, you know. Sabi ko, magkakasundo-sundo tayo.
Ako kasi I'm really into the environment and taking care of the environment. And napansin ko talaga, it's especially this campaign season, wala akong nakikitang flyers or posters.
Tarpaulins.
Tarps.
Ni Alan.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think
yes.
the hardest...
She asked me that.
Yeah.
Sabi niya, bakit walang
Wala nga akong
collateral?
nakikita. And I
the
don't
hardest
feel it
thing
here
to
in
do,
BGC.
I think in leadership, I hope you agree, but the hardest thing to do is to actually practice what you preach. So nung nag-start yung campaign, sabi ko, I'm not naman the most active pagdating sa environment. I can name a lot of politicians who've done so much for the environment, but can I lead by example? So sabi ko, what if I don't go on motorcades? What if I don't print yung mga calendars, handbills, and don't print anything that you'll throw away right away, di ba? 2 or 3 people said that's a great idea. So we announced it, then nagpanic yung campaign staff ko. Na paano yun, how do we do it, etc. But sabi ko, baka dumating ako sa point ng career ko that we can risk it kasi it's worth it. So why don't we make a stand for that?
But it is really important that we continue the conversation about the environment. Kailangan pag-usapan talaga at kailangan, yung sinasabi ni Alan, gawin mo. And then, sabi mo nga, to sustain.
To
Diba? To
sustain.
sustain it. Pero I wanna bring the conversation to faith-based leadership, yung values-oriented leadership. Ano ito and how different is this from other concepts of leadership like servant leadership, transformative leadership?
Lahat kasi tayo may faith eh. So it's a leadership based on what you believe. And in my case, in my identity in the Lord Jesus Christ. Di ba? You know, be proud of what you believe in. So like, I'm a Christian, but if I become a senator, I'm a senator of Filipino Muslims. I'm a senator of Filipino who don't believe in God. I'm a senator of Filipino Catholics. I'm a senator of But at least, walang surprise. Diba? So, for example, Kuya Boy, kayo ni Kylie, will you go into the store and buy something na hindi mo alam? Or kung na-tempt ka man, baka first time. Then if you like it, you'll buy it again. Pero sa politiko kasi, once binoto mo, nandiyan na yan for 3 or 6 years. Pag nakaugat ng konti kasi may resources, etc., baka forever nandiyan yan. Pero binoto mo pala not based on what he or she stands for or believes, but because he's a good politician.
But how does your faith play into your various positions, for example, in very, very contentious issues na may relasyon sa faith?
Okay.
Divorce,
Yeah.
abortion, same-sex
Yes.
marriage, etc.
It dictates my stand but it's also based on love eh. Kasi ang teaching ng Bible is love. So I'll give you a concrete example. Ang Muslim, pwedeng 4 na asawa.
Yes.
O, ang Kristiyano,
Yes.
isa.
Yes.
Ang LGBT, pwedeng same-sex, di ba? But anong common values natin? Di ba common values
Love.
natin, don't cheat on your spouse or partner. Di ba common values natin,
Ba't ka nakatingin
don't
sa akin
abuse.
yun?
don't, di ba, don't abuse, etc. So, there are things we'll disagree on. So like kami ni Kuya Boy, is asking me kung same-sex marriage or
No.
same-sex union or ganyan, and we're discussing it. But we agree on the values dun sa relationship. We agree that whether Lani and I will raise a child, or whether you and Bong will raise a child, or whoever will raise a child, dapat the child has proper education, will get good nutrition. So yung values, Kuya Boy, is universal eh.
Okay,
Diba?
get it.
So, yes, there will be contentious. So for example, di ba, many in the Catholic Church didn't want talaga yung reproductive health, di ba? And I have to admit, my spiritual belief allows that. Di ba? Pero yun nga, we worked out the values. So in the Senate, we passed it. But in Taguig, we had a good coordination with the Catholic Church on kung paano i-implement in a way that it doesn't promote teenage pregnancy, in a way that it doesn't promote promiscuity, in a way that doesn't ganyan. It's not perfect. I mean, kung sila masusunod, dapat hindi mapasa. So, it's a dynamic thing, Kuya Boy, but it's a relationship. So, the point is, if you vote for me, Kuya Boy, you might not like 5 out of 10 of what I stand for, but you're sure what you will get.
Oo.
And you're sure they'll be based on love and not on hate, discrimination, di ba? Or politics, di ba? Ang problema sa politics, surprise talaga eh. Hindi mo alam na, di ba, sabi mo, you hate hypocrites. Magaling na hypocrite yung binoto mo eh.
What values do you hold on to the
Yes.
most? Ang pinaninigan
For example, sa akin, it's Christ-centered, Bible-based. So those are my sources of truth. But I accept it and I know I can be a senator to all because ang greatest commandment is love God first, then love others. Diba? So kung sinabi kasi sa Bible na love God, then hate those who don't follow, I cannot be a senator to everyone. I can only be a senator to those who believe the same thing. Diba? But you will know what I believe in and not. So for example, in this city, we believe in hard work. We believe in working harder, working smarter. We don't believe in luck. Biro nga namin, huwag ka maniwala sa swerte, malas yun. No? So, one of our other core values is family. So, we want the open spaces. We want the park. So, maganda sa mall kung may pera ka. But even if may pera ka, iba ang gusto ng teenager, iba gusto ng mga lola at lola, iba gusto ng bata. Pero sa park, di ba, you can have sports facilities na pwede sa teenager. You can have yung ihaw for the older ones. You can separate and go back
Yun din
together.
yung na-notice ko dito sa BGC. There are so many parks you can just hang out in.
Open
and
spaces.
Open spaces.
What do you really think about politicians in general? I don't want to get into trouble or bash, but
Ako talaga, me or my generation, really do our research. And we vote someone based on their values, their core values, and what they stand for. That's why I wanted to really
so hindi
ask.
ka naman yung type na trapo kayong lahat.
Parang hati ako. Hati ako na dahil may iba akong kilala na alam ko naman na totoo yung intention nila. Pero meron din, maybe it's because kulang pa yung pagkakaintindi ko sa kanila or kulang pa yung knowledge ko with them. Like this is the first time I've met you. So baka kulang pa yung pagkaintindi ko sa kanila.
So you're willing to give them the benefit of the
Yes.
doubt.
And
Hindi
that's
parang
why-
nabasa mo,
Yes.
ay, trapo or
Oo,
wala.
kaya gusto ko sila makilala bilang tao. Kasi from there I can judge na, okay, this is who I wanna,
Vote for. You actually have to spend time.
yes.
Deliberately. Na
Yes.
sino bang ibinoboto ko? Dapat kilala natin.
Kilalanin at I do my research, Tito Boy.
Okay.
So I'm happy to hear, that young people curious, they're willing to spend a little bit of time, di ba, to check.
Right.
Very curious. And I just wanna add, yung faith in God, it really grounds you eh. And when there's nowhere to go, siya talaga yung pinupuntahan mo. That's why, ang ganda nung point na God is at the center of your leadership values.
I think when we vote for someone, you have to see what's most important to them. So when I was in the speaker's office, nagugulat sila sa decision. But I told them the simple formula I have. Never put money first. Kasi pag money first, sira na lahat ng diskarte mo.
Ako, I have one last question.
Go ahead.
For young people like me, because a lot are parang, like you said, parang there's so many ways of looking for income. What can you suggest to like the younger generations who are lost?
Ang nakikita kong...
Especially after the pandemic.
Yeah. One of the
Sometimes
greatest challenge of people, cutting across generations, cutting across the kinds of job, is how do you have a job that makes enough to be comfortable, especially if you have a family, or if you're supporting your parents, or you're a young couple, or you have siblings, di ba? Especially if you're PWD or you're a single parent, okay? On the other hand, how do you love your job? So many people make so much, pero makikita mo, almost nervous breakdown, almost mag-suicide, etc. because they're so unhappy. Meron naman na they're so happy with their job, but they can't afford it kasi walang kinikita. So ako, I don't believe God will make us that way. So I think the number one thing you should do is anong purpose mo? So it doesn't matter really what you end up doing. Basta nasa yun ang core purpose mo, then just be the best at it.
And parang when you find your purpose, you don't get tired doing it, no?
Palagay ko, yung pandemic, pinadapa talaga tayo.
Yes.
Lahat talaga tayo. It has become a common experience. Hindi lamang dito sa Pilipinas, sa buong mundo. But a lot of people discovered a lot of things that they thought they couldn't do. You just have to get out of that sphere that you've been comfortable with.
Tama.
Malay mo, may mga ibang pagkakataon ba, di ba? I mean,
Itong pandemic na to, maraming niluto talaga.
marami.
Maraming niluto,
Kaya naging baker.
maraming kinain.
Well, dyan tayo nagtatapos. Maraming salamat, Kylie.
Thank you so much, Tito Boy.
Kami na lang mag-cheat sa'yo.
Yeah, Alan, thank you.
Hinahunting mo daw ako.
Hinahunting talaga kita. Kasi meron tayong hindi pagkakaunawaan. Pero,
Hi, people of the Philippines and people of the world. Hit the button below. And you will be subscribing to the Boy Abunda Talk channel on YouTube. Let's keep talking.